lovelies, it's LegitLovely. Welcome back to the channel. I want to apologize for the lack of videos on the channel the last week and a half. I've been focusing a lot over on my Twitch channel, which I have decided that I need to really start to balance rather than focus on just Twitch or YouTube. One or the other. I need to focus on a balance for both. But if you aren't already following me over on my Twitch channel, it is just twitch.tv/LegitLovely. I play a variety of games over on there, such as Destiny, Planet Zoo, Sims, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and a bunch of other amazing games. So if you'd like to see me live and interact with me live, my Twitch is linked in the description below. So yeah. But in today's video, we are actually going to be going over my upgraded PC specs and my settings for The Sims 3. Now, I was waiting to this video because I did recently get quite a few new parts for my computer. I upgraded my RAM and my graphics card. So I want to first go over the parts that are in my computer and then the specs that are in my computer and then my in-game settings. I want to keep in mind that I do use an HQ mod and I do use reshade. So my pictures or your pictures may not look the exact same if you use my exact settings that I show you guys today. Also, depending on what part you have in your computer, if you don't have the exact same build as me, your graphics might look different. Your computer may not be able to run as high graphics as I have, and that's okay. I just want you guys to be aware that not everybody can run the settings that everybody else has. And even then, you could have the same exact computer as I do, and your game could run differently. So just be very aware of that. Also, be aware of the fact that I do merge my CC, so my game runs a little bit faster. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys Google Doc where I wrote down all of my PC specs. We're going to go over that, and then I'll show you guys my in-game settings. Okay, so my processor, my CPU, my hard disk drives, and my motherboard have all stayed the same. So starting with the CPU, I have the Intel Core i7-6700K. My GPU just recently changed. I got the NVIDIA RTX 2070 upgraded from a 1050 Ti. So that is a big thing that has changed. My hard disk drives, I have one Seagate 500GB hard drive, one Western Digital 320GB hard drive, and one Western Digital 500GB hard drive. So I'm running 3 different hard drives, no SSDs. Basically, I have one hard drive for Sims, one hard drive for like my Google Drive that everything backs up to, and then one Google Drive, obviously my local disk drive. Another thing that changed recently is I used to have 8 GB of RAM. I recently upgraded to 216 sticks, so I have a total of 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. And then my motherboard is an ASRock H11OM HDS. Now, I did have to also upgrade my power supply. It's a Corsair. I don't exactly know the name of it, but it's an ATX power supply. So it has recently been upgraded to in order for me to run my new GPU. So what we're going to do now is go into my in-game settings. I'll show you guys those very quickly. I'm not going to just show graphic settings. I'm going to show like my actual in-game settings because I do have a couple things that are different that help the game run faster. So yeah. Okay, so we're back in my game. This is my little world. You guys can see that the graphics are really good, and that is, like I said, it's partly because of my graphic settings and partly because I do have an HQ mod. We go to my options. We're going to start with graphic settings. I don't have it in full screen mode. I have my game in 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9 windowed full screen. The only thing with that is if you're using OBS, you do have to kind of slightly stretch your game a little bit to fit the canvas. Because while it is 1920, 1080, if I show you guys this game in a display capture, you guys will see this at the bottom. It doesn't fit right. I think there's a way to fix it, but I haven't really figured it out yet. So I kind of just run my game in a window capture and stretch it a little bit. Reflection quality, I have it set to mirrors and water. Sometimes I set it just to mirrors if I notice my game running a little slowly. Edge smoothing is off. You can have edge smoothing on, but just know that if you use reshade or anything that has a depth of field effect, having edge smoothing on, even at its lowest effect, will stop depth of field from working. Visual effects I have set at medium because just like particles and like the plumb bob on top of the Sims head. And since I don't do a lot of gameplay and I mostly do screenshots, that doesn't really need to be high. Lighting and shadows is set to high. Treated detail is set to high. It's not set to, I think it's very high or ultra. It's just unnecessary. I feel like high is good enough, especially since I use a reshade. Everything else looks fine. Draw distance is set at high so I can take screenshots from far away and so that I don't get that weird blurry effect in the far distance. I don't really care for that. High detail lots. This goes up to 8. I have it set to 6. I feel like it doesn't need to be super, super high, kind of similar to my tree detail situation. So I have it set to 6 out of 8. And then texture detail and sim detail are set to high and very high. Those are maxed out. Animation smoothing. So it's smoother animation on faster machines. Not necessary. I like to have it enabled though. I have object hiding off. So that means that if you're like zoomed out a certain amount, an object will kind of hide itself. It'll blur. I hate that, especially when I'm taking screenshots and I need a specific item that's far away to be in the screenshot. It'll blur it or it'll just completely disappear. So I have that disabled. And then advanced rendering is all on. I have that checked on. So that's really it for my graphic settings. I haven't really changed anything in like NVIDIA as far as like specific graphic card settings. I kind of just run with these settings, run my HQ mod, and run reshade for my screenshots. So these settings, they're not graphic settings, but I am going to mention them because they can affect how your game runs. I have shot mode and lessons off, and then I have interactive loading screens off. You can earn lifetime happiness through the interactive loading screens. Since I just take pictures and I don't do a lot of gameplay, I disabled it because it does, even though they say it doesn't, I feel as though it makes the game or the save load slower. Shop mode, it'll tell you like to buy stuff from the store in Create a Sim. I don't, so I feel like it was unnecessary. And then lessons, it's just a bunch of unnecessary notifications between shop mode and lessons that can make your game run slower. I guess I can go through these settings as well. I have autonomy off. And aging should be disabled. I don't know why that was enabled. That was weird. I disable aging because I do take pictures and I don't need my sim dying in the middle of a picture. So we don't do that. And then all my seasonal settings are the same. Story progression is fine. I find that the only aspect of story progression that can really lag your game is when you are using the story progression mod and not like in-game story progression. So yeah, that's really it. These are my updated PC specs, my updated in-game settings. I have a video on reshade in my HQ mod somewhere on my channel. I will find the link and I'll put it in the description below if I remember. But the HQ mod I want to mention that I'm using right now in this video is not the HQ mod that I have a link to in that video, because the HQ mod that I'm using right now is custom made and I am unable to release it. It's an 8,000 pixel HQ mod. Keep in mind, the HQ mod that I have linked is a 2K HQ mod. This one's an 8K. And I hesitate releasing the 10K or the 8K HQ mod for one reason. That is simply because you really do need a very decent computer to run the 8K HQ mod, and I do crash sometimes when I use that HQ mod. And I don't want you guys to have that problem. Okay, so as far as my mods folder for The Sims 3, like I said, everything is mostly in CC Magic. So this is, the cache folder is for CC Magic. We don't touch that. Overrides is just any overrides that you have. Packages, this is what we're going to focus on. Ignore blueprints. I have an eyelash folder. So it's basically all my eyelash sliders and my S-Cup eyelashes. I keep that separate because there's so many files for it. I don't want to just put in my game mods folder. These are where I put all of my mods, like One More Spot Please, any of my career mods, my master controller, any of my environment mods, anything like that goes in game mods. I do not merge mods. I do not merge sliders. And anything that's super important like poses, I won't merge either. I think I just started merging poses and I didn't have an issue, but I know that you can, so just be careful. I have a separate folder for pet sliders because I do have quite a few, and I don't want to keep pet sliders with, sim sliders, just in case I did have issues. Defaults, I just have my default skin and my default eyes for Sims. These are obviously the Sim sliders. You guys know this folder based on my video on my channel that I link for all my Create a Sims. Source, that's for Blueprint Maker, and then that's for Blueprint Maker. But if you go to my CC Magic, this is where everything is super, super organized. So under build by, I have build mode, buy mode. I have lot CC. So this is any CC that I downloaded for specific lots. Lot CC V2. When I made a camping build, I put everything in there. I test patterns, or if I download new patterns, I'll put them in the test folder to make sure that they work with merging, because some patterns don't work well when you merge them. Under Create a Sim, I have accessories, browse, and facial hair. And then under Create a Sim clothes, I have adult female, adult male, kids, teens, toddlers, shoes. And then underneath, just normal Create a Sim, I have hair, makeup, and skins. Under world CC, I do separate my CC if it is packaged by world, if I download specific worlds. This way, if I'm having an issue with one world, I can easily take the CC out. So I have Dreamer's Bay, Arrow Fae, Sinker Islands. Then just a normal category of poses. I have pets. I have package sims. This is where I download any sims that aren't Sims 3 packs, but they are packages. So if you ever download one of my sims and it is a Sims 3 pack in the Sims 3, you can convert it to a package file. Just know that you can't convert .sim files, which is why I don't really share them. Nature Collective, that's something separate. This is my testing. Every time I enter a lot of new CC into my game, I'll put it in a testing folder in CC Magic. I won't sort it yet, because if I start sorting it into different folders and stuff goes wrong, then it's a pain. So what I'll do is I'll just put in test folders. As you can see, I haven't sorted test V3 or test V2 in quite a minute. And then I have secret Discord stuff, which is just secret stuff that I am working on. And then the legacy is obviously the stuff that's in my normal mods folder. But that's really how I organize my mods folder. I want to just mention a quick little tip. If you do use CC Magic and you use my tutorial, you download CC Magic, you install it, you install CC, and you create a new category over here, and then you're like, the CC didn't show up. Make sure you go under configurations and you have nothing over disabled on the disabled side, because the minute that you create a new set, like if I add set new, go to configurations, or if I refresh and go to configurations, it'll automatically show up on the disabled side. So what you want to do is move it over to the enabled side so you will have the CC in your game. So to do that, all you would have to do is click on the set and bring it over. And that's really it. I just want to mention that quick little tip. Now, last thing I'm going to mention is the NRAS error trap mod. Basically what this does is it'll show you, for instance, if a sim is stuck or a vehicle is glitching anywhere in your save, whether it's with your sims or with any sims in the world, and it'll correct it. So I just really suggest this mod. It'll correct data corruption, that can render a save game unloadable. Any corruption errors that cannot be corrected will be trapped in log, allowing the save game to load regardless. Unhandled script errors may be posted on the forum. And if you notice, I think I might have one. I can deleted them, but if you get a script error, it'll be like in this main Sims 4 folder in your documents. So yeah, that's really it for mods and how I organize my mods and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this, or did enjoy this video. For once, I'm not doing a create a sim where I have stuff after this. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on all my social medias, including my Twitch. There's always conveniently linked in the description below. Or already a member of my Discord, the link is on the screen right now and in the description of all of my videos. We have a very big community and very welcoming community of over 120 members in my Discord, and I hope to interact with you there. If you'd like to purchase any graphics from me, some of my work is on the screen right now. My portfolio is linked in the description below, and feel free to contact me on either Twitter or Instagram so we can set up a commission. And last but not least, if you aren't already using my Fortnite supporter creator code in the item shop, I am an Epic partner. So if you use my Fortnite or my supporter creator code LegitLovely in either the Fortnite item shop or the Epic Game Store, I do receive some monetary commission from your purchases, and that really does help out the channel. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay lovely, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, everyone.